Hi, I'm Laura, and today's 10-minute video is going to be working the abs specifically. So it's a really good area to work, not only obviously if you want to try and slim down that area, maybe want to try and get more of a defined stomach, but it's really great for your posture and also all the way down your back. So creating these really strong muscles is going to help support your spine and just really improve that whole area. And it's important to remember as well that your abs aren't just what's on the front, they also, the small of your back is part of your core, so it's the whole core area you're going to be working. And we're also going to do a little bit of work on the obliques, so that's on your side muscles as well, to give you that really nice shape. So when you're ready, we'll get down on the mat and get going. Okay, so as we get moving, I'm going to really be pointing out the technique for these moves, because that's really what's going to help you and going to make them work. They're quite small movements a lot of the time, because we're working on really focused areas. So getting the technique right is what I would say is always more important than the reps. So I would only go as far as my technique will take me. I wouldn't ever want to continue really pushing a move if I knew my technique wasn't quite right. So we're going to be focusing on a few areas. As you come down, just keeping the knees up for now. And the first one is your pelvis. So as you lie down on the mat, you might just find you'll naturally have a lift to the small of your back. Some people it can be quite high, so you can get your hand all underneath, or it might be a little bit lower, a bit more neutral. But where we really want to take it is completely flat to the mat. So that just involves tilting your pelvis and your hips just ever so slightly towards yourself. So it's just quite a small movement, lifting up, but doing that is really going to squeeze in the lower tummy muscles, which is great already, and flatten the small of your back, which is just going to really protect your spine and that whole area. So this is where your pelvis wants to be throughout the whole next 10 minutes, just really tilted forward. If at any point you feel like you're starting to lift up and the pelvis has moved, you want to bring that back down and start from that point. Okay, so that's really focal point for this whole time. Okay, and the next one I'm just going to mention is around the neck. So obviously I'm not doing very good because I'm moving my neck constantly to look at you. But as we're moving up to say we're doing a bit of a sit-up pose, rather than keeping the neck all the way down and closing off this area, we want to keep it as open as we can, almost like you could fit a big orange there if you so wished. And that's just going to really open up that whole area and stop you straining your neck muscles. It's really good to keep the chest open as well. So just lying down here, remember, tilt the pelvis, that's our most important part. I just want you to bring the knees up. And we're just going to start by hugging them into the chest and having a really nice squeeze there. Maybe rocking side to side, it's just going to release the small of the back. And we just want to prep everything ready for our little workouts. If you want, you can get the neck and the shoulders involved and just lift everything up, looking in. Give everything a nice squeeze and then release it, letting it all go. Just bring the weight into the feet and the hands are just going to take the knees, and we're going to do some nice rotations here. Again, just working on the small of the back, and really see if you can start to focus on the lower abs at the moment. Just feel if you can feel those muscles moving around, warming everything up. But sometimes just focusing on the muscles can really help with the movements. It really helps you focus in on what it is you're trying to achieve and where you want to be working. And then we're just going to go the other way. And if you're like me, you decided to do this outside, you might feel very wobbly if you've chosen an area that has a bit of a tilt to it. So we'll see how we get on. But it's always nice to work outside. Okay, and then bringing them in. So now we're just going to keep the toes together and open up the knees to create two big circles. Drawing those circles with the knees. It's really nice to open up the hips. One more this way. And then just rotate the other way. Make it nice and even. One more like this. Really nice big round circles. And squeeze everything in. Okay, so for our first move, I just want you to raise the knees up at this point. It might be you want to have more of a right angle and go no higher than the 90 degrees there, or if it's more comfortable for you, just bring them up slightly. have a bit of an opening between the knees, and the hands are going to come behind the head. If you don't like to interlace your hands behind your head when you're doing things like sit-ups, etc., then you can just bring them to the temples. But just remember, keeping everything open is going to really help with the move. So we don't want to be doing this. We want to kind of keeping it nice and open, so we're working from the right area. So remember, first thing that's really important at this area is tilt. So tilting that pelvis, everything really nice and flat to the mat, okay? And then squeezing in those lower abs, because that's the area we're really going to work with this one. Okay, so just remember keeping the feet where it's comfortable for you. Every day is going to feel a little bit different, so just go with what feels good today. And we're going to do 10 reps of each move. So to start with, it's just going to be a really gentle sit up, really squeezing the tummy muscles in, and exhaling all the way down. Okay, very small movement. Big inhale, just squeezing everything. We don't want to dome the tummy, we want to squeeze everything, flatten it down. 3. You'll find I'll start to talk a lot less, don't worry. Down 4. 5. And 6. 7. Really gentle movement. 8. 9. Wobble wobbly. And 10. And just release that down. Okay, for this one we're now just going to move the feet. So the chest is going to stay flat to the ground. Remember, really good tilt in the pelvis. And it's going to be an even smaller movement this time. You're just going to inhale, bring up the legs ever so slightly, and exhale them down. So very small movement, but really focusing on the abs. So we're not using the weight of the legs to swing everything up. Just very small movement. And a few more like this. 2 more. Inhale as you go up. Exhale, release. And 1 more. That's really good. Okay, so we're going to put the 2 together now. When we're putting the 2 together, don't bring the head all the way down to the mat, because you're going to find that is what might start to dome the spine. So we're going to inhale, squeeze everything up, and exhale, just release nearly towards the mat. Inhale. And exhale. Again, 10 of these. Inhale. Halfway. Keeping the movement as small as you can, really focus on the area you want to be working. 2 more. And 10. That's great. Just bring those knees in, give everything a squeeze. That's really good. Okay, we're going to move into our second movement now. So I just want to bring the legs all the way down. And we're going to be doing the leg lift. So for this, don't worry, we're not going to go completely flat to up all the way, because that's really hard on the spine. So what can be really helpful is just put the hands underneath the bottom in almost a shape like this. Okay. And again, this is going to be working down the centre of the abs as well, and the lower abs, that's the real kind of problem area you want to work in. Help the lower spine. I just want you to bring the feet out. Really inhale, because you're going to need to do a lot of squeezing here. So it's going to be quite a big movement, but again, not huge. And we don't want to use the weight of the legs to swing up and down. So an inhale is going to bring you up, and exhale is going to bring you down. Remember the technique, as soon as you start to feel that the back is going to arch, you stop at that point. So it might be that you come up to this point, and exhale, and you want to stop here, or maybe you can go a little bit lower, and then inhale everything up. Okay, and we'll go for 10. Yeah, I can't talk as much when I'm doing this. And I've lost count already, so we'll say that's halfway. Okay, again, not too quick, not too slow. Just feel those abs working. And we'll go for 1 more after this. Don't tell anyone I can't count to 10. And then just release everything into the chest again. From here we're just going to move into our final move, and that is our bicycle. We'll come up for a moment. I feel like I'm just talking to you lying on the floor. And there's two variations to the bicycle. So the first one is just going to be a single leg. So for this, we're going to be bringing the head up, and it's going to twist. So we're just going to bring one knee up and twist, back to centre, and exhale everything down. Inhale, twist, exhale, and coming all the way down. Okay, so a little bit slower than what we're going to aim for, but it's a really good way to prepare everything for this twist, and also get the technique completely down. So it's still going to be tilted all the time, that really nice tilt. But if you can, we're going to go for about 30 seconds, although again I'll probably lose count. And we're going to be an inhale, bring everything up, straight leg at the back, and exhale over to the other side. So squeezing everything in, keeping a nice space here, and twisting. Okay, but remember, if you want to be going for one leg, keeping the other one down, go where it feels good today. Okay, so I'm saying we started when I started. And we're just going to go for about another 20 seconds here. Really think about that pelvis, keeping everything locked in. 10 seconds. Keep breathing and smiling if you can. And 10. And I have just rolled off the pavement. Okay. So, yeah, think about where you do it, because I clearly didn't. And then bring everything in and have our final big squeeze. Take some nice big deep breaths. Really fill up the belly as you breathe, just to release all the muscles. I'll do a nice twist here, so bring the hands up. It's what we call cactus arms, which is just laying either side. A nice inhale brings the knees over to one side, lift it over to the other, just stretching everything out. Nice big deep breaths. And on your next big inhale, bring everything up. And exhale onto the other side. Minding a plant that you might be leaning into. Really nice twist on the obliques, where we've been working. A nice inhale is going to bring you all the way up. Squeeze everything up, lifting up the head. Take a nice big squeeze. And exhale, release it all down. So well done for completing the last 10 minutes. If you feel like you could go a little bit more, then you can always replay the video if you can bear to watch me again for a little bit longer, or write down the moves and have another go. It'd be really great if you could do maybe 2 or 3 cycles, and that's really going to work on the abs. But if you're going that far, remember maybe doing the warm-up and the cool-down video that's also in the 10-minute series will really help you and release the muscles afterwards, so you're not too sore the next day. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. Remember, share it and like it and subscribe and all that jazz if you have, and I'll see you next week. Bye! I wonder if anyone knows that I make this many mistakes when I'm doing it. Should I do bloopers? So, as we move... I need auto cue. Can someone please make me auto cue? It'd be lovely if I could use my mouth and my brain together over and over again.